This artist was ripped off for years. That main story in just a moment, as firstly today we turn back to the hellhound wolf VTuber Sinder, now missing in action for over a month, all while her Discord has been locked down. That potentially changing soon, as Ikemen would post on the Discord. The remaining team is currently working on getting some stuff ironed out to allow a slow unlock of the general channels. We are still planning how we are going to do the unlock, but it will be gradual, starting with intermittent unlocks or slow mode increasing in duration over time. Currently, the team is working on onboarding some help to actually get some more eyes on the server to allow us to unlock it. All while all eyes are still on Sameko Saba, their YouTube channel now racking up over 434,000 subscribers, and their singular video, Saba Saba, now with 1.5 million views, as now an official logo has been officially trademarked. This trademark listed under the purposes for merchandise, as now we can see that NijiEN English's Kotoka Torahime has officially graduated. Her Twitter account being locked down simply hours after her last message to her fans, sharing this last piece of artwork by her character illustrator, and then 3 hours after her graduation stream, then removing all content from her YouTube channel, except for her song releases, which include 2 new songs from the past week. Kotoka, before her graduation announcement, even revealing a brand new outfit, immortalized here by NijiEN English's Vermilion, simply tweeting out, "Good afternoon, my coworker is hot." And now today we return back to the artist and live 2D rigger Suika, their customizable VTuber model selling nearly 5,000 copies, and who is now calling out Yena, another digital artist and live 2D rigger, claiming that Yena has been tracing their work for years now, alongside also tracing the work of Tina, another freelance illustrator. Suika originally tweeting out, "I'm so tired of staying silent. It's great having so many followers here, but that means I'm not allowed to call out people who wrong me if they are smaller than me, because it would start a witch hunt." And seeing well-known VTubers commission and praise them for straight-up copying and low-key tracing my work is an additional slap in the face. I don't even want to call out people. There shouldn't be a need for it, because we talked privately in DMs 3 years ago, and I was told they would stop copying me and tracing others' models, but nothing changed. Instead, I am blocked by them, and they keep doing it. At what point have they had enough? I've had them blocked for years before blocked people could even see posts. They must have used an alt account to stalk my art and keep copying it. What kind of weird obsession is this? Suika then dropping a Google document with, "I have tried to resolve this issue with them privately in 2022, but it seems they have not changed." This document beginning with, "It is for spreading awareness about an individual that has been copying me for many years and has a history of tracing and taking inspiration that is too close for comfort. I am hoping that this is a wake-up call for them and that the heavy referencing and copying is finally put to an end. Please do not go out of your way and DM or comment under Yena's post to harass her. I do not condone this action." Too long didn't read. Yumi has been copying me and had an unhealthy obsession with me and my art for years. When I reached out to her in DMs in 2022, she said she would stop, but didn't, and the copying has been going on to this day. This document beginning with, "Why are you not resolving this situation privately?" and responding to that question with, "I tried resolving it privately back in March of 2022 with her in DMs. Despite my best efforts, the copying has been going on still to this day." Suika then going on to show this proof of the block from Yena, and then providing a screenshot of the most recent quote-unquote copying, this being from May 24th of 2025, a day prior to the creation of this document. Suika saying, "I got a DM by someone who recognized my art style and did a layover of my customizable model in Yena's newest post. These 2 models placed over one another as seen here. Suika saying, "At first glance, it looks very similar, but when I lined up both images, the entire face outline, neck position, upper middle lip proportions, and shape lined up near perfectly. The eyes, as you can see here, do not line up, but when focusing on only the eyes, you just have to edit the eye size, vertical, and eye shape parameters for the eye of the customizable VTuber model a little, and you have a very similar eye." Suika saying, "For context, I've made a customizable VTuber model that has customizable eye shapes, so anyone who owns the model could change the eye shape to exactly this one." Suika adding the fact that the entire eye style, the shape and curve of the upper eye line, the shape and curve of the lower eye line, the placements of the eye highlights, the sudden addition of a tear duct, the sudden appearance of a lower waterline, the curve of the eye line. Isolated, these details aren't owned by any artist, however, putting everything together created a unique combination that makes up someone's unique art style. Then showing off Yena's eye versus the edited eye shape side by side, and now going into those DMs from 2022. Yuna originally reaching out to Suika, saying, "Hi, I did a piece for your debut day today," sending this congrats on debut artwork, as Suika would eventually reply with, "It's come to my attention that you posted a new VTuber model on TikTok. It looks very similar to my 2.0. You know, the one you drew for my birthday. And I have noticed that your art style has changed a lot to resemble mine more. And while I get that everyone gets inspiration from other artists, usually they do not copy the entire art style. For it to be 100% ripped off is not very nice. I hope you understand, and I get that the model is already rigged, but I'd still feel very uncomfortable knowing people will think I drew you, so I would appreciate if you change the eyes more to your own style a bit." Suika then going on to show a comparison here, and in DM saying, "Here are both models side by side. I don't think I need to point out the similarities, especially because you went from this to that. I also want to address some tracing I have noticed, producing this screenshot and saying legs made by you and legs made by me, further than placing the models over one another, then showing off a comparison of the eyes." Yuna replying, "Yeah, they do look pretty similar. I really adore your work, and if you think that I am copying your art style, I have no problem with changing mine. I'll stop selling models for the time being while I recenter my art style. Sorry for the troubles." Suika replying, "No, I don't think you understand. They're not just similar, they line up perfectly. That's not a coincidence." Yuna then replying, "I'm in class right now, so I can't reply much, and it won't be until later that I can." Later stating, "I really didn't trace your work. I think it was just the factors such as both being VTuber models, both being the same archetypal anime girl character, and the fact that I was heavily inspired by your work that made it look so similar. That being said, I was wrong to heavily reference your work and did minimal adjustments on my part. I'm sorry about that, and I won't do it again." Suika replying, "Let's say it's not traced. The fact that it's so identical it could be traced is still too much." Further asking, "Are you going to change your model? You never said anything about it, and please take down the TikTok videos of the model version that looks like mine." I've even gotten more DMs about people asking if I was the artist. Yuna further replying, "With the tracing of the models, I have sent the side-by-side pic you first sent to other artists, and they said that they look similar but not traced." Saying further, "I have complied with both parties. I have apologized. I have given my word that changes will be made from now on. If you are threatening a call-out post because I am not feeding you the exact words you want to hear, feel free because I have said everything on my part and I don't have anything to hide. You also mentioned that you'd like to handle this privately. I have gotten harassed by your followers, and I was under the impression that this was being handled privately between involved parties." Suika making clear, "I did tell my close friends about the situation because I was very upset, and they went to comment under her post, which I do not condone, but I think everyone has friends like this that want to protect you. At this point, I was just tired and accepted the fact that she wouldn't own up to her tracing properly, so I just accepted the apology the way it was and wanted to move on, thinking she got the message and would change. After this discussion, I thought it was the end of it, but she kept copying me. I thought to myself, I'm to blame for this because I let myself be clouded by my feelings of her wronging me and my friends. It's my fault she keeps doing it because I was very unpleasant in DMs. I felt bad about it ever since, so I just blocked her and moved on and never said anything publicly. But enough is enough." As here further, we have the other party, that being Tina. Suika saying, "I have consent from the chibi artist, Lol Tinami, and the client, Lil Poogie, who the chibi model that was traced and copied from, to post these. I confronted Yuna about the chibi model in DMs at the same time I talked to her about the tracing and copying of my art. As here we had this chibi, and further this chibi, then overlaid together in the document. Suika saying, "I would like to keep this private, but I would like you to apologize to me, Tina, and Poogie, since Poogie paid for these, and stop doing things like this in the future." Yuna replying, "I can assure you that the chibi model wasn't traced. It was way too heavily referenced, and that I do admit. There was no intention for it to be sold other than for practice, and I have told Tina that it was something I should not have posted, especially if it was for practice and experimentation. I cannot admit to something I didn't do." Adding, "Regarding my VTuber children, they are all aware of the situation, and if need be, you can reach out to them privately, and they will be more than happy to comply." Suika saying, "After I talked to Yena in DMs, she made good on her word and reached out to Tina in DMs to apologize. The following DMs are from Tina's point of view, and here you can see Yena denied tracing again. Yena saying, "I wanted to follow up with another apology. I wanted to make sure you knew that I understand the gravity of the situation and how serious the accusations are. I cannot admit to something I didn't do, but I do admit it was way too heavily inspired, and while the model was not intended to be sold, it should not not have been published at all. Adding, I will take them down. I didn't mean for any harm or disrespect. I just wanted to clarify I didn't trace. If it was just too heavily referenced and was meant to be used for practice, it won't happen again. Tina responding, I believe you did, in fact, trace my work because of how accurately it lined up to Poogie's model. If it was referenced, it wouldn't be nearly 1-to-1 in the overlay. Again with I was in class and am currently on a quick break, saying again, I sincerely apologize that I heavily referenced your work. I can understand where you're coming from as to how it looks that I traced, but I can assure you that I didn't. Suika then breaking down other design similarities over the years. As here now we have this Suika model from September of 2021, and then 3 months later from December of 2021, this model from Yena. Suika saying it has very similar hair, a cardigan shape, such as the button placement, the way it falls off the shoulders, alongside the way it is tucked into the skirt, plus a white tank top underneath color scheme of hair and clothing. And even earlier than that, in April of 2021, we had this piece from Suika, then compared to this model that Yena had been using in 2022. Suika saying, pay attention to the bangs and the direction of the front hair, the big bow at the back of the head, the neck and claw shapes, the under dye hair, earring style, and art style in general, all minus the nose. And now we have this piece from May of 2022. Suika going with this goth chuny style as just 1 month later in June of 2022. Yena would post this character. Suika saying, please pay attention to her suddenly having animal ears, a headband, red eyes, black clothing, different color hair streaks, and the similarities on the top of the model I had further down, tied up hair. And this is all after we had discussions by way of DMs. Suika adding, I think it's noteworthy also that before that model, I had this model with a similar design to hers. Suika wrapping up the document with even more. Here are some comparisons, especially the eyes being copied still after we had discussions. Going on to show these two pieces from Yena, and then Suika following up with her pieces, emphasizing the eyes, one after another after another. Suika later adding, I clearly said multiple times there is heavy referencing and copying involved, but by no means did I claim that every single thing Yena drew is traced off me. She uses a mix of many of my current and past model art styles, which is still my art style and is the reason why her art looks too close for comfort. Suika lastly tweeting, I also want to add that in no shape or form am I trying to claim all semi-realistic art styles. Every semi-realism VTuber model artist has their similarities, but also their own twists. There's always going to be overlap, especially on front-facing VTuber models that are drawn in symmetry. But there is a point where the amount of similarities, the things that line up, and the history of copying paints a bigger picture. This while we're looking at the bigger picture with Elio, a silly jester axolotl VTuber, recently debuting their new look on the Twitch front page, only then to receive a ban. Initially saying, every terms of service thing is covered in my model. Guess it's not covered enough. I never even zoomed in on the booba toggle. I'm so upset. This model having a quote-unquote booba toggle that can change the size of, you guessed it, the booba. This VTuber receiving an actual content reasoning for the one-day ban. In response, saying a whole year just to get banned. Thank you, Twitch. What an amazing platform for VTubers. This artwork of the Jester VTuber also being shown at one point during the stream, and initially being suspected as part of the ban, while a day later, this VTuber would be unbanned, and saying, I still don't know the reason why, but I'm so grateful to have such an amazing and supportive community. Thank you to the VTubers that tried to help me. You mean so much to me. Ilya then further tweeting, just to clarify, my outfit was not the problem. After talking with other creators who have been suspended on Twitch, I figured out it's probably the toggle that enlarges my boobs. It's a joke toggle that's meant to go with my jester character. My suspension was for actual content. If the issue had been my clothing, the reason would have said inappropriate attire. This VTuber adding on to that with, I streamed for a full 5 hours yesterday with the big boobs and the art piece that sparked all the different interpretations, and nothing happened. No bans, no violations. Meanwhile, we have the Mafia Bull VTuber Vane, alerting with, YouTube just deleted my VOD channel in 2 years of VODs out of nowhere with no warning or explanation. Asking Team YouTube what changes were made to the channel that don't follow guidelines. Team YouTube responding, the first step here is to appeal. And Vane responding to that, it's difficult to submit an appeal when there is no clear explanation or communication from YouTube on what rules are broken, which videos this relates to, or what changes to the channel drove this decision. YouTube further responding, the appeal process we shared is the best process. Vane then giving getting this update, they rejected the appeal, the channel is gone. To add insult to injury, I cannot create a new VOD channel as it would be considered ban evasion, so now I no longer have anywhere to upload VODs for viewers to catch up on streams that they miss. Vane then later giving us this update, saying it's been a really stressful 24 hours, but I have a massive update for everyone. We got the VOD channel back. And not just that, my old ASMR channel that got the exact same treatment a year ago is now also back too. That's right, this Vane ASMR channel that had been gone for a year, according to Vane, has returned and the videos are still there, meaning that YouTube had retained this data on file with their servers. Vane continuing with, unfortunately, there is still no explanation on why the bans happened or why the appeals were originally rejected, which is unfortunate. It sucks it took 3 reviews and a high visibility tweet for it to get resolved. I do think it highlights a large issue with the moderation process by YouTube and makes me worry about how this would have gone if not for the support and attention the post had received and all the other creators that face these challenges on a daily basis that might not be so fortunate. And who is wrestling with another platform is Kanna. This VTuber and artist giving us this announcement: I am opening emergency commissions on VGen. A Twitch viewer just refunded a 4,000 euro donation from over a year ago. I am now 3,300 euros in debt on PayPal. And further reporting on PayPal very quickly, we have Videre's Tome Amare sharing, I opened PayPal to check something and noticed I had 2 disputed cases for donations. Please don't donate unless you can afford to do so. As much as I appreciate it, it's absolutely not necessary. As what is necessary is Usada Pekora of Hololive Japan, tweeting out this artwork and saying, happy news, I'm actually collaborating with Death Stranding 2 on the beach. I'm so happy, it's all thanks to you. Thank you. Kojima Productions this morning tweeting out this video of Pekora in the game. Hideo Kojima back on August 30th tweeting out this picture of himself and Pekora, leading to speculation at the time that Pekora would be taking part in the game itself. Oh, well, next we turn to Fantastic Reality, self-described as a groundbreaking mixed reality 3D live mini fest, bringing VTubers to the IRL stage with a live band. Coming to Vermont, Hollywood on July 3rd. This event kicking off their promotion with this poster, as we have numerous VTubers involved here, including V4 Mirai's Ko Maria, V-Shoujo's ironmouse, Calf, and Mint Fantome, alongside others like Isa Corva and Contail VA, plus sporting a band headlined with Starlight Daryl and DJs such as Mono Monet. This as one of the lead producers, Ko Maria, would announce this event streaming from an airplane in the sky.
I am here above Los Angeles and we're going to fly over Hollywood, California to announce that in exactly 39 days from now, July 3rd, 2025, there is going to be Fantastic Reality, a one-night mini-fest celebrating VTubers and live music.
That airplane being seen here earlier last year, titled the Rootin' Defiant, and sporting Hololive English talents of Orocroni and Heikos Bells, as who is also involved, of course, is V-Shoujo's ironmouse, recently taking part in the Crunchyroll Anime Awards, and soon collabing this weekend with Baby No Money. Billboard.com announcing the Fantastic Reality event with this headline, Virtual Artist Ironmouse to perform at upcoming Mixed Reality 3D Live event in Los Angeles. All the while, who's also taking part, of course, is Mint Fantome, remarking this is one of the reasons why she has been practicing dancing so much lately, while separately saying, I'm a special guest today. This being for the farewell party for Coyote of the Kimono Friends V project. This VTuber recently sharing, we finally used a dance mat as the controller for Tekken 8. All the while during this 3D farewell stream, Mint would often steal the show with their constant and continual flashbangs. One after another after another. Coyote, after saying, thank you so much for coming to my farewell party, as Mint would say her farewells with visiting Japari Park was so much fun. I love you so much, and I'm always wishing you the best. Congratulations on your graduation. That is good friend and character illustrator Ayami showing off her own and Mint acrylic stands and charms for both Dokimi and Offkai, further promising these acrylic figures the maid friends. One of those friends, of course, being Dokibird, now set to premiere her 3D cover of last last cup of coffee alongside Made Men on the Dokibird YouTube channel. That coming up on May 31st, this Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Dokibird recently being invited by Zentreya for a Elden Ring Night Rain promotion stream. Oh, while Dokibird would also be the standout here in this official Marvel Rivals sponsorship. Dokibird remarking, "Oh man, the only VTuber here. This is actually such a crazy opportunity. I'm really thankful to Marvel Rivals for sponsoring me to showcase Ultron and the newest updates early for all of you. It's crazy to see myself here amongst all these other streamers." And further adding, it's actually crazy that 4 months ago, I was making jokes about being sponsored by Marvel Rivals. This has actually been a dream of mine to represent Rivals, a game I'm super passionate about, and be seen as one of their content creators. How do I manage to get these opportunities? Never hurts to ask, and approach them and make the first step to show them how much you want it. If I didn't make the first step and go for things without the fear of rejection, I don't think I'd be able to get this far. So while MSI Gaming Canada is tweeting out big news dragoons, Dokibird will be at GameCon Canada on June 14th. Come say hello, hang out, and maybe even snag some free Dokibird merch. Meanwhile, we have the Rat Queen Alicia, initially letting us know they have a upcoming doctor's appointment, and then afterwards updating us with "I beat cancer. I won. Alicia won. Cancer 0. Later adding, "I just woke up and am crying. Seeing so many people celebrate me beating cancer means so much to me. Your Rat Queen is here to stay." Oh, while her friend Adora Bunny would add on, "I don't show my emotions on my sleeve too often, but when I found out, this honestly might be the biggest W of the year. Seeing your loved one overcome something like this puts a new perspective on everything ahead, and dear God, do I hope my neighbors aren't mad at me for screaming and jumping up and down when I got the news in a call. She gets to finally be a mom, something she wanted for so long, and I get to be an aunt and spoil her babies. Go support my friend. She deserves the world." And further along, we also have Kanna Yanagi, the happy duck detective, sending out this tweet of, "Thank you so much for a wonderful year. With my chronic illness, I was kind of lonely before I found VTubing and streaming, but now I've found so many friends, experienced so many amazing things, and found you, my amazing community." And further sharing this public service announcement regarding the YouTube chat ranking, saying YouTube has implemented a new feature that ranks chatters, which I really don't like. I sadly can't turn it off on my channel, but there's an individual setting where you can turn it off. I've turned it off so I don't see it in chat, and as it turns out, this can also be disabled on mobile as well. As next up, we're turning to Hololive English with Nerissa Ravencroft, taking part in a new HoloEN 3D repeat while kicking off her first 3D concert, Requiem for Love. This being a fully choreographed event and also including full 3D animated sequences. Ida saying, "So this is what peak combat looks like." All the while, Dita Bang is here with some behind the scenes artwork. This while Makeship has launched their new Holo Advent plushie campaign, including Nerissa and company. Unsurprisingly, all of these plushies 100% plus funded, but unlike other Makeship campaigns, not telling us exactly what percent beyond 100% has been funded or what number of plushies have been sold, as what is likely very popular is Nerissa Ravencroft's 850,000 subscriber celebration merchandise. This including a "Your Assignment Has Arrived" plush blanket, alongside a hand puppet keychain, match with me necklace, and more. As it was also launching new merch was Elizabeth Rose Blood Flame for her birthday, including a diorama stand, pin badge, t-shirt, keychain, and more. That as Liz would take to the 3D stage, still in 2D. That being for the 3D birthday concert for Best Girl Roboco, now sporting this brand new outfit, and being joined on stage not only by those within Hololive English, but also Hololive Japan, NijiEN Japan, and even an Utate guest, performing here as a matching silhouette. Roboco also launching merchandise, including a tapestry, enjoy your meal dumpling plate, a cheers glass, a I Sits plushie, plus voice pack and more. And speaking of more, now we have more regarding the Hololive Stage World Tour 2025 Synchronize events. The Hololive English account initially announcing an announcement stream with this graphic entitled "Show the Fans the Synergy," then later changing that to "All of Us Synchronized," and now revealing special guests for Sydney being Oro Crony and Heikos Bells, Hong Kong being Tokina Sora and Sakura Miko, Vancouver being Fuboa and Mokoko, and New York City being Hachima and Matsuri. Also taking part with Hololive Meet in Hong Kong is Bei and Kobo. Kobo herself this weekend on June 1st, streaming on Bilibili with a brand new karaoke. While reacting to these announcements is Fuamoko, saying we're going to be performing a special guest at the Vancouver, Canada stop while Hachima would tweet out, Hachima in New York. I'm so happy, I'll do my best to make it a success. As now, Anime New York has tweeted out about that New York event. Pre-sales are beginning on June 5th at 10 a.m. Eastern. General admission goes on sale later that day at 1 p.m. Eastern, adding that a badge plus ticket are required to attend this Hololive Stage World Tour 2025 synchronized event at Anime NYC. Further with Hololive EN, we have Ina, now celebrating 7 million views on Violet and receiving even more unique artwork from Ami Ami, even receiving this special birthday cake. Ina and Ami Ami teaming up for this North America exclusive set to be seen at Anime Expo, including stickers, badges, and more. Ina and Bae taking the stream recently to have another Ami Ami sponsored stream. The two HoloEN members revealing that they had taken time together to travel to South Korea. All the while previously on an Ami Ami stream with Ina was Iris, now here with HyperX, saying bring hopium to your gaming space. HyperX and Iris are collaborating on keycaps and a headset accessory, showing off this 3D render of this especially horny headset. All the while, Holo Indie has made this announcement. Finally, Holo Indie games are available on Nintendo Switch, beginning with Hololive Treasure Mountain and Holo Parade Deluxe Edition. Both are super luxurious editions with all DLC included and scheduled for release on June 19th at midnight GST. This all while also releasing on Switch and Steam coming up on June 5th will be the Radin Guide for Pixel Museum. This game is sure to make you fall in love with art and culture. And speaking of culture, here now we have Phase Connect, celebrating now 2 years of the Invaders Wish Gen, complete with new merch like standees, keychains, a whiskey glass set, playmat, and more. All the while, numerous girls in Phase Connect would come together to release an original song that very appropriately entitled Pick Me Fever. All further with Phase Connect, we have Mari Mari chowing down on this delicious dish and revealing, today I played Pokemon cards for my second time and won all 3 of my matches. Receiving this reply, bro is playing against 11-year-olds, winning and bragging about it on Twitter. Mari Mari replying, I can smell your jealousy from here. Further adding, before I go to bed, I just want to say that beating a kid at Pokemon cards is still a win. Phase Connect CEO Sakuna simply replying with this image and receiving back from Cleo Aite, Silence League player. Speaking of Sakuna, Sony here is revealing my Sakuna keychain is outselling the rest of my Phase stuff. As Fishman was here revealing free coffee at Offkai, and then quickly adding samples, coffee samples. That's right, Phase Connect is returning to Offkai again. Offkai announcing it's time for another deep dive down the rabbit hole, except all we keep finding is coffee. Thank you, Phase Connect, for sponsoring the Offkai Gen 4 Vendor and Artist Hall. This year's event aligns with Phase's 4th anniversary. Show them some love and visit their booths. And speaking of events, we have the VTuber fan events page, letting us know about the Endless House Party, saying get ready for your Oshis to serve you signature drinks, exclusive merch, and killer looks, all Offkai Gen 4 weekend long. VTuber fan events teaming up with the Boba Bar Tea House and Eatery. This event running from June 18th to June 23rd in San Jose next to the Offkai Expo. All further with V4 Mirai, we have Yumi the Witch. V4 saying it's with a heavy heart that we share Yumi's hiatus from regular streaming. Yumi will be away indefinitely as she supports her mother who is undergoing cancer treatment. We ask that you be respectful of their privacy during this time. We appreciate your kindness and understanding and well wishes. Thank you for supporting Yumi the Witch. We look forward to her return. Yumi saying further, I'm sorry I felt like I was letting the broom mates down. I'll be stepping back to spend time with my mom and work on my mental health so that I can come back better than ever. Thank you all for your well wishes for Mama Broom. All the while, Offkai Expo is also announcing another sponsorship with V4 Mirai, stating we're pleased to have V4 Mirai bring their wonderful presence on board. Set sail with V4 Mirai at their immersive Sea Spirits 3D concert and see what they've got in store. And very lastly, for this weekend, we have VLR's Strony Cuddles hosting a VTuber Suika tournament. That event kicking off this Saturday, May 31st, with 50 other VTubers. All the while, Idra Lyra is here with a VTuber charity concert entitled Your Sound Matters, featuring 60 plus VTuber guests, raising money and awareness for mental health. That's starting this Saturday, May 31st at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. As that is all for this episode. As always, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe below. Send in your VTuber news to our Discord, as we'll have more things VTubers say for you soon.